am really in the process of straightening out a lot of stuff. So I've created a fan page. It's going to be real different. It's going to be storage auctions. It's going to be everything, and a lot of my weird to crazy viewpoints on life. It's going to be very, very different. So the link is below. If you want to be a fan, just click on in there, hit like, and bam, you're in the mix. And I think more than likely I'm going to start doing the contest from the fan page. There's another one that I'm working on. I just, I'm getting a little feedback because I'm going to launch it there. And so if you want to be part of that, you're going to need to be a member of the fan page. And there'll be freebies and giveaways and stuff like that. Just letting you know. Hey, this is Glenda with Making Money with Storage Unit Auctions, and this is I can't remember how many years. I've always worked on Thanksgiving. I'm not like a super holiday person in terms of, it's Thanksgiving. It's just hanging out with friends and family, which I'll do later. That's the big thing for me. But I really thought about it. Even with me coming out of the business, I still have worked every Thanksgiving since like 2002, 2001, 2000, something like that. And it just hit me. The holiday thing for me is really, really different in regards that most days I get to do what I want, pretty much. So weekends and holidays are not like this big thing for me. And sometimes I forget, because we all tend to live in our own skulls, that most people, that's not their life. Monday through Friday, nose to the grindstone, working your ass off. And the weekend's the only time that you really have to do what you want to do, how you want to do it. And the same thing with holidays. So I had to kind of step back for that. But this got me thinking this morning, because I was a bum this morning. I didn't get out of bed until like 7:30. It really kind of rolled around the bed a little bit more for like maybe 15 minutes. It was just like, I don't really have to get up. I really don't have anything to do. I got a bunch of shipping to do, but that's going out tomorrow. But, it just got me to thinking how deep I was in the storage auction business. One of the guys in the reseller group was posting that, you're really addicted when you're sorting stuff on Thanksgiving. And I was like, I was going to do a video about that. Because I remember one Thanksgiving, and it was a warm Thanksgiving. I got up like 6 o'clock, and I figured, because I had bought 7 units that week, and the 7th being Wednesday, and that's like, I needed to make a dent in that, because with holidays you get additional time, because everybody goes gaga on holidays. It's like, hey, I'm off, folks are more lenient, hey, take as much time as you need. And I took full advantage of that. But I still, 7 units, and out the 7, 4 were 10 by 20s. That's a lot of stuff to move. That's like, if I can move 2 or 3 before I go to dinner, I'll be good. Because, I moved the small ones. I didn't even mess with the big ones, because I was going to need help. But I was moving stuff, and I went to the first property, and the property manager was there, and she was outside with her dude, and they were like, going at it. And I just went on about my business and went to the unit. 10 by 10, mostly furniture. It took me 40 minutes to load, and half the truck was full. So I was like, okay, I don't know about this 3 units. So I stacked it as well as I could. Then I left, and they were still out there just fighting. Property managers live on property. Some of them are real cool, and some of them kind of kooky. So I go to the next property, and I get there, and this is something that if you buy a lot of units, it's just going to irk you. I don't care if there's only one other person on the property. So frequently, they will be unloading the unit next to the unit that you bought, impeding your progress and slowing you down. I don't know why this happens. I don't know if the universe is just like, let me throw this at you. So I go to my unit, and there's like 4 people, and they're moving stuff and SUVs and stuff. And one of the SUVs is right smack dab in front of the unit that I need to unload. And I'm just like, I get out the truck and I say, hey, I'll go around the other way and just back in. And then he's like, hey, we just 30 minutes and we'll be out of here. I said, no, I need to get in there now. I got stuff to do, and you're in front of my unit. And then the girl was like, come on, Jerome, stop, don't be that way. And Jerome one was like, well, I just told the man 30 minutes. And I'm just like, and everybody's like looking at him like, you're being an asshole. So at that point, I just walked and got in the truck, went there, and I started backing it up. I'm in a 27-foot truck with a big, thick gate. And I tell you, I was going to tap his ride. I was like, I just started moving it. And the truck's going, doo, doo, doo. And all I see, Romy Rome gets up in this vehicle and he moves. I'm just like, why does it have to be this way on Thanksgiving Day? Why? So I raise up the door and I'm just really looking at what's in the unit. And I'm looking at how much space, and I'm like, this is going to be tight. This is going to be really, really tight. So I started loading stuff. I take the bed frames and I put them up on top. And you get really creative when you're by yourself. So I'm loading the unit, and I noticed that all the flurry activity that I once heard with other people, it kind of stopped. And I looked at them, and they're just looking at me, and they're like, that's some nice stuff, man. And I'm like, oh hell, what story do I tell these people? Because unlike today where folks are like, hey, I buy storage units. Really? It's a great conversation. You do that? Man, that's really interesting. Back in the day, oh no. I was come up with all kinds of stories. I would never tell anybody where I got this stuff from. Never. And they're like, hey. And I was like, I'm just helping my sister out because there's all this women's stuff in there, boxes of clothes and everything. And I was just like, hey, I told her I would help her. And they're looking at the truck and it's like, you got some more stuff. Oh yeah, that's mine. Well, anyway, so I'm just moving stuff, and bam, there's a freaking motorcycle in the unit. Nothing major, not a Harley, like a Kawasaki dirt bike. And dude's like, man, I want that bike. And I'm just like, you can't have that bike. He's like, man, but that model's pretty rare. How long you have? I was like, well, like I said, it's my sister. It's probably her dude's. He left her. She probably kept it. She's evil like that. And, we're just sitting there, and I'm like moving stuff and everything. And he's on the bike, and I'm just like, hey, since you're on the bike, help me push it out there. And we push it out there and put it on the lift gate, and I put it in the truck. Then I just kind of pack it in between the stuff and put some pillows and stuff in there, and I just stack it up there. Then all of a sudden, he's like, you really know how to do this. He's, I'm a mover. That's what I was like, I'm a mover. Oh, I said, yeah, everybody in the family always, and then all of a sudden it's like jokey joke. It's like, man, we wish we knew you before we came out here with all these vehicles and everything. Ha ha ha. So I get his card and I'm loading stuff and I'm getting there and I see that I'm gonna have just enough room to get the stuff on there. So I get everything loaded, pull down the door, get ready to fold up the lift gate and get ready to take off. And dude was like, don't forget to call me. So, well, I need to clear it with her and see what she wants to do. I mean, I just can't sell someone else's stuff. Right. So I leave. And I hightail out of there because they slowed me up. Because, at this point, it's like 12:30, 1 o'clock, and I got to go to Alabama. Alabama was only 2 hours. So get to the warehouse, and I just said, screw it. I throw a lock on the truck. Then I take another truck and I go get this last unit, which fortunately was real easy to load. It only took me an hour, so another 2 hours, and it's like 3 o'clock. And I'm like, screw it. So I change in the warehouse. Then I get in my car, head on to Alabama. Then, a few days later when I get back, well, because I stayed 2 days because my mom was really on me about, like, you never come. And when you come, you leave immediately. So I get back, and my partner's like, what do you do? So what are you talking about? It's like, this guy came by. I said, what guy? And she started describing him. I'm like, and it's the people from the storage place. So what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, he's on me. He's like, he wants this bike. And do you know the mofos followed me? Yeah! They followed me to the warehouse. Thank God. And this is something else. When you leave your truck loaded, always back the truck up toward a wall if you can. That will prevent a lot of theft. So, I had it up against the dock, and there was no way anybody was going to get anything out of that truck unless they moved the truck. And apparently, because, it just kind of weirded me out that this person followed me. So I get on the phone, and I call dude, and I was like, dude, I told you I was going to call you. Why you following me? He said, yo, man, we kind of discussed it. Your story is kind of sketchy. And I really want that bike, And I was like, dude, you really need to chill out because you got me really weirded out. And I was like, you know what? We don't need to continue any more conversations. Just forget it. The deal's off because, you're weird. go ahead and I look up the bike, and he's right. It's a rare bike, and a lot of people want it, and it was like $1,000. I was like, So I called him up, just to play with him. I was like, well, you want that bike? It's $1,250. He said, I was looking for a deal. I said, ain't no deal. You weirded me out, $1,250. Because everything that, it was a dirt bike. You didn't need all the titles and stuff like that. But he's like, I don't know. But it worked out in the end, and no, I didn't sell him the bike. I actually sold it to someone else because essentially he was full of crap. But that is kind of like the storage auction lifestyle. This time of year, and someone else has recently picked up on the deal, you can get some great deals because everybody is in holiday mode. It's like you worked all year, it's the holidays. For a lot of people in certain professions, this is the only time that they can legitimately take a lot of time off, and no one's looking at them crazy. Because when I was in commercial office furniture sales, if my deals weren't done by the 15th, I just let it go. It was just like trying to push molasses. People were like, we'll do that first quarter. I'm serious. This time of year for sales, unless you're doing on the retail side, you can just hang it up after the 15th. It's like nobody's doing anything. Budget's not approved. It was a trip. So when I had a job, I just generally took the last 2 to 3 weeks of the year off. Or worked half days. It just didn't make any sense. But the storage auction business totally changed that. Totally. Because one of the things that you will realize, since everybody is in the holiday mode, is if you've got the space, you can stock up. You can stock up like you've never stocked up before. And, here's a free tip. Tax season's coming. If you watch the videos, when I say tax season, govern yourself accordingly, because this year's going to be off the chain. So that's the deal right there. This is just kind of part of the storage auction lifestyle. It's not for everybody. If you don't really have a passion for looking in people's lives and going through their stuff and checking their stuff out, then this is not the business for you. But if you're nosy as hell and you like splunking and looking at strange stuff and looking at people's nudie pictures and naked stuff, this is the business for you. You will like it. But know that it takes a certain type of personality, because it's not a regular 9 to 5, and there's a lot of things that you're going to do that will boggle your mind. Alright, well, that's it. Happy holidays, enjoy yourself, and I will catch you in the next video.